Okay, we expected the Brody. This is just going to solidify my thoughts more. Onic won this draft for game one. Let's see if DFYG can actually execute this draft. They've got to... I mean, we're not saying there's not a good hero composition here. It's more so of how much they have to do to make it work. Now, part of this, I would say, maybe Valentina, depending on what you're able to do with it, might help that alleviate some of that pressure a little bit more, but man, they're going to have to work for this if they can beat Onic in these team fights, especially if they get to a later game. But remember, Onic has not had a game go past, I think it's 14-11 is their longest game so far. They're very quick to get to the victory if they have an upper hand, and that is exactly what DFYG has to watch out for and stop it from happening.
Well, it's a tricky scenario for DFYG, but they do have the tools. I always feel like if you have a team fighting tool, you will always have a way to actually win the game. And they do have the Sora, and eventually this Valentina will be able to copy perhaps the Marcel ultimate. So there are ways, or there are ways around it. This is not looking impossible, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, it starts here. Start of the game going through. DFYG looking for what they can. Again, as Kyrie gets his purple buff, he's just got to be protected by Keyboy. And they will trade out, securing that buff for the Lith Wanderer. So that's secured. Let's take a look at the emblems quick.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, my feet actually lagged a bit. There's nothing really... Okay, there you go. There's nothing really out of the ordinary. So unsafe coming up from the emblems.
Oh, whoa. What is going on here?
No. That's a flicker and a stomp, but I think Suns was able to dodge out there, and a weird flicker from Suns. Yep, that was very ambitious for him to go for that flicker play, and he ends up wasting his own flicker for this early game.
Yeah, at least he, well, as we say, better not having the flicker than a death, even though Zed uses as well. So, nonetheless, pretty much even across the board. We got to wait for this first turtle for something to happen with this one. And that's just the nature of DFYG's composition. They try to set something up with a G Kundo if they have it, but it's more playing into the kick once it's available, or again, having that Sora crowd control there too. They're going to force Zhao out of that bush. Loopy's kind of low here, but he's got the Daytona's welcome. He's going to get the stacks that he can. Kyrie's going to poke in. There's the flicker. Daytona's welcome, as we expected, into the wall, and the burst is going to come through. But E1 will be able to survive. Flickers on out. There's Zed falling, and now crashing down. Fish Gone Out takes out one. He's looking for another if he can. He goes in, has the crowd control and damage, but just not enough. Does make it happen. It's easier for Zhao now. Low health bars, but it's a double for Suns on the Eudora.
That already would have been really good for the side of DFYG, as they started with a fight on utilizing their shifting skies, which we said that whenever you have a team fighting tool like that, something really good as the Sora, you can actually turn the game around no matter what happens, because all you have to do is to look for an opening. And they were able to find an opening out there, but they overextended, and eventually Onic, despite losing their Nolan very early to that fight, managed to win it because Suns was outputting the damage from the start of the fight up until the end. So that will eventually favor Onic, and they're going to be very happy about this early game that they built after punishing the FYG's overextension.
Now the fight for the turtle here was rather ignored for that team fight. Neither team pulling the trigger just yet. E1's holding on to his own golden hour. Kyrie will make his way. One thing is Kyrie maintains a bit of a level lead against Zhao just because of the nature of how things went. Zhao's dealing with the green camp. Turtle's already going to be started up, though, so let's see. DFYG looking for a fight. Shifting Skies comes through. Zed on the zone. Goes with the kick on Sans. He pops the flicker again. They're going to fight for this. Turtle's in the golden hour. There's the stun, and Zhao will be able to secure the objective. But one falls, and it's Fish God. So Onic trading a kill for the objective.
I think that's Onyx always a team that likes trading kills for the first turtles, right? They're gonna be happy with it, but that Freeman collapse onto top lane. Can they take out Keldra? Seems like they, it's promising that Terrify is there, but Keldra survives, gets an HP with the help of Keyboy. That is the Marcel giving shields to Kelra.
Oh my goodness, the shield came in clutch for Kelra. Able to go ahead and rely on Keyboy there. He's actually going to stay in lane, clear out this wave, and then go for the reset. But man, the timing impeccable from Onic right now. DFYG falling a little bit further behind now, 1,000-ish gold. Make it 2 behind Onic.
God, it's Onic just finding some scraps and some clutch moments. And if you're DFYG, you're really hopeful that you are positive, you're optimistic that you can get the kill onto Kelra because you committed 3 of your heroes. I mean, in any other case, that would have worked. And now they will lose their U1 as Lutpi is able to find a kill with that flicker. And Daytona's welcome.
Well, DFYG got Kelra finally. They knew his flicker was down, so they're able to go ahead and punish the gold laner of Onic. But it was a trade once again, set up in the mid, so 1-for-1 across the board. Meanwhile, Kyrie just continues to farm up here. At least this time, Zhao is actually maintaining levels. It's more so, can they do what Onic has been doing, setting things up? They're not going to go for the kill here on Lutpi. They don't want to go ahead and waste a kick here. Turtle's coming up here in a couple seconds. You can see Onic is already going for position. Kyrie will grab his buff and then rotate forward. So they just might go for a delay here as Keyboy is already around that turtle. Again, broken walls is the map. They've got an extra wall to work with. Shifting Sky's going to bring him back. Trapped in the golden hour, but now Kyrie's going to go ahead and join this fight. He's already smashing down. A lot of ultimates already used. There's Daytona's welcome. Golden hour used and expended again. Now Zed couldn't find the opening. Gonna get lightning balled here. He jukendo's out, and now Kelra gonna join the fight, but Onic fought for the space, and they'll take the turtle. They'll start it up. DFYG is here. They're gonna pop the conceal. They're going for the blazing do it. Kyrie's able to secure the turtle, but the fight goes over to Onic still, looking for more. Torn apart memory. Gonna send Lung back, and Kelra is the one to get punished. So it's a trade for kills and objectives again.
I'm actually surprised that they still extended out there. Oh, shifting Skies onto the back lines. They do have the damage. This time comes the jump, and there's a shutdown onto Sans. Onic getting punished after, again, their overextension. And they stayed in the middle, and they are giving free gold for DFYG. There still is the lead for Onic, but if you're Onic, you gotta be careful. You cannot give free stuff to DFYG because they can easily come back from this game with this Hirara.
As you mentioned, Wolf in the draft, and you know, when we got there, one of the main key players for DFYG is Fish God, and he's making things work, and this potential is here for DFYG. A kick's going to be used on Keyboy, but Lutpi was there. Kyrie sees Fish God. I'm not sure if they're going to go ahead and go for this. Daytona's welcome, but whoa, the golden hour is going to freeze him in. There's the Daytona's welcome into the wall, and then Fish God is taken out, and now Lung could be in trouble. Had to pop the defensive blazing duet. A couple marks here on U1. He could be in trouble. Kelra seeing if he can get another mark off, but not just yet. Now they're going to go for the tier 1 turret, and they shred through Zed and take the turret next.
To the bottom, there we go. Moving as a unit. They want to push the bottom lane to get more control of the map. 31 seconds before the First Lord. Fortunately for DFYG, Zhao Shui's Hirara was able to split push a little bit. Keyboy will not get there in time to cancel the teleport, but it's more than enough. And you can see that Onic taking advantage of the situation. Again, they just have to not overextend, I feel like, because that has been their problem throughout this game. Lutpi in the middle of the mid lane. They gotta be careful out there, but it seems like there will be some reactions from DFYG. Onic, when they find this out, they will react too.
Here goes Zed with a kick right on target, but Zed's going to be the one to get punished. Golden Hour are going to be used, and again, Sans' burst with Kelra will find it too. Now Zhao trying to run away. The marks are already on him. Golden Hour on the defense, but this is now an open to take the Lord. Kyrie alone will go ahead and start it up.
On the DFYG, they tried to go for that play. I mean, yeah, you're right. He's on the mark. He found the target, but there wasn't any follow-up. Well, to be fair, Onic reacted accordingly. When they saw the kick, they did not react to the Cho. They looked where the help is coming from, and they stopped that from happening, eventually taking out Fish God. 2, 4, and 3, unfortunately, on this Sora. DFYG has to figure out a way to make it so that Fish God will then be activated.
If they want to allow Fish God to continue to be activated, someone else has to supplement him, man, on these. And it's been Zed, you know, trying to set things up with a kick, trying to make it happen. Oh, look at that. This is why every single time the Eudora goes over to Onic, whether it was Sans or whether it was, you know, the likes of Sunset Lover back on Team Spirit before they got eliminated, you just see how dominant they are with it, how strong of a, you know, the poke is. Just, you can't even defend against this base turret push. The Lord is working on the mid, and Onic, they might still actually get this base turret off this wave. They can't do anything up top. Golden Hour going to be used. Keyboy keeping them in trapped. And now turret, couple hits away. They're not going to go for it. There's the shifting skies. Kyrie waiting patiently. This is what they wanted. They wanted DFYG to try to fight, and they're able to find more. Lung goes in with a blazing duet. He can't find the target he's looking for. He's trapped. He's zoned out. E1 could be in trouble next. Kyrie and Keyboy are still there as they run him down. Now it's just Lung, but there's too much damage and too much health bars for Lootby. And now Onic will go ahead and take the first game in this best of 3 against DFYG.
And Onyx